Email marketing. Sure, we're hearing about mobile, we hear about social, we hear about all these emerging trends, Pinterest, whatever. Email marketing, still a $20 billion piece of business and still very important for many internet retailers. I'm Daniel Burstein, Director of Editorial Content for MarketingSherpa. Joining me right now, Scott Heimes, CMO of Digital River. Thanks for joining me, Scott.
Thanks for having me.
So Scott, you have talked to probably hundreds of companies, traveled to dozens of countries this year. What have companies been telling you about email marketing?
Well, I think one of the big trends is that email marketing is not dead. A lot of people think that it's on its way out, it's being replaced by other technologies or other channels. We actually see email marketing as being a very effective tool for driving acquisition and conversion and retention marketing strategies across our commerce clients. And in fact, we see it as being the number 2 most effective tool for acquiring new customers behind search engine marketing today.
Yeah, here's my theory on email marketing. Tell me if I'm wrong. So, email marketing, you always have to act. So you see social media marketing, you might see a Twitter comment, you might not. But when you think about a lot of those social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, every time somebody does something on that social platform, I get an email about it.
Yep.
So people have to act, but they might not. So what type of advice could you give to e-commerce companies to get maybe more opens, more clicks, more engagement with their emails?
Sure, there's a variety of best practices techniques that we publish on our website at bluehornet.com, as well as do all kinds of webinars and marketing out in the marketplace. But there's classic elements. You need to have a responsive, designed email strategy to enable the email to be opened on multiple devices today in a seamless, interactive way. You have to have a classic, well-designed email. You have to have a strong call to action that prompts that action to take place. And overall, the offer that you put in front of the customer has to be compelling. Otherwise, they're not going to click through on it. So it's all about a coordinated strategy of all these elements coming together in the right kind of campaign that produces strong open rates and click-throughs.
So I wonder if you could think back to one of the best examples you saw of responsive design over the past year from an internet retailer. Because you mentioned responsive, we all want to get people on mobile. What should we be doing differently on mobile than we were doing on the desktop?
Well, responsive design is all about designing for all screens at one time. So it doesn't matter if you open the email on your cell phone, smartphone, on your tablet, or your desktop computer. It works seamlessly in each of those environments. And so it's very important today with the growth of tablet usage and smartphone usage. Plus, people still rely on their desktops quite a bit. You need to be very thoughtful about designing a responsive email campaign so that it works seamlessly in whichever device you choose to access it.
And one of the benefits of some of those mobile sends and working seamlessly is real-time marketing. Right? So I talked about those emails I get from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. A lot of times they're real-time because they're telling me something that happened. I'm sure Digital River, Blue Hornet, you've maybe seen some good examples of real-time marketing, of triggered emails, of somebody getting an email when it relates to what they're doing, not just a regular batch and blast campaign.
That's right. Yeah, I think triggering emails and delivering them at the place where a person is, being able to identify that potentially via a GPS location device inside of a person's phone, being able to deliver a message at the right time and place where they're at to prompt an action. A trade show is a perfect example of that, right? There's a lot of people here at the show. We're using email to try and drive people to our event tonight. We're using email to try to drive people to our booth. We're using email to try and get them to act post engagement with us at the booth. And so it's a very effective tool for getting people to act, actually change their behavior and commit to doing a task. And I think that's why email is going to be around for a very long time.
Absolutely, and when we talk about mobile, one place it's definitely growing is in some of the emerging markets. So
yes.
What do you think is the biggest opportunity in emerging markets for internet retailers?
Well, obviously China is the fastest and frankly the largest e-commerce market in the world today. And we're spending a lot of time in China. In fact, we were just over there last week with a team that was meeting with Alibaba and a variety of other partners as we look to expand our opportunity there to enable us to take our clients into that very unique market, which has a limited number of distribution channels, and you have to have partnerships in China to be successful. But there are many other emerging growth markets that are really exploding. Russia today is growing very quickly. Brazil is growing very quickly. And even some of the countries like Mexico and Indonesia, Turkey, very growing and fast emerging e-commerce marketplaces today. We're seeing a lot of our customers grow there quickly.
And you also mentioned that companies aren't only trying to grow overseas, but many manufacturers trying to sell direct to consumers as well. So what would you recommend to manufacturers so they can sell direct to consumers and some of the big brands, yet not compete with some of their key channels who are also trying to sell to consumers?
Well, we see branded manufacturers that want to build direct-to-consumer channels as one of the fastest growing parts of the commerce marketplace today. We help companies like Samsung and Lenovo build direct-to-consumer channels that add value outside of their traditional retail channels or their relationship with Amazon, which is a very large marketplace they need to pay attention to. But we enable them to build that very important third direct-to-consumer channel. It gets them closer to their customers so they can leverage and learn about different product strategies and things that are important to customers. Obviously, it enables them to craft custom solutions for those clients that they can't do in the traditional retail channel. Think about value-added services like white glove installation capabilities, other types of tech support. And frankly, it has a very attractive margin profile compared to the traditional retail channels. And so for all these reasons, manufacturers are increasingly building these direct-to-consumer channels and expecting them to be a growing part of their overall revenue mix.
Yeah, so I think if we had a common theme of everything you said, the words closer to your customers. I mean, we're talking about triggered emails, we're talking about mobile, responsive design, even moving all across the world. Really, e-commerce companies are trying to get closer to their customers. Right?
Without question. It's the key to success, plus a large selection.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us today, Scott. And you can see many more of these interview videos at MarketingSherpa.com/IRCE as we grab some of the key thought leaders from the world's largest e-commerce event and bring them here to the Marketing Sherpa Media Center at IRCE.